Alright, we're back for the D tier here in the challenge series. Yeah, D tier has been completely reworked for year 3, seeing as the introduction of the recorded tier list data has very much shifted around what cars do and don't belong in certain tiers. D tier used to be a battleground between supercars and Group A's, I think, and Group 4s, or GT4s. That still kinda is, but the balance has shifted towards, well, it's more even. Like, there's more, I don't know, we'll just see when we go into the first race, because it's like it's different, but it's not. The cars are different, but the kind of basic concept of take a GT4 car and have stability and cornering speed, or take a supercar and have power, and just kind of hang on for dear life in most of the turns. Alright, we're here at the starting grid for the first race of D tier, and you can see the list of drivers and their cars. Be an upgraded version of the F40 surfaces now, as I really didn't know what that was like, but I tested it. And turns out it's pretty well matched with D tier's set of cars, which is mostly Lamborghinis, in case that wasn't a familiar enough sight from the last tier with 4 different Gallardos on the track. Now we have 6 different Lamborghinis in the race and a field of 15 cars. 3 Huracans and 3 Aventador SVs. Then we have 3 Lotuses, I think. Yes. 2 Ferraris, 2 Porsches, and 2 Maserati GTMCs. The only driver of note that's making their sort of debut in the challenge series, Kagasa Tatara, is driving a Lotus 211. In the challenge series, normally, she's a Jaguar representative. However, there's no Jaguar in this game, so she has to make do with what's British here. You'd probably know her better as one of the Derby specialists, but more all-round drivers in the Twisted Invitations. I believe the Huracan performance is 4-wheel drive, so that is why Tyler McIntosh is just taking off at the start here. Check in the back of the field here. Wayne's in kind of this off-yellow car. It's kind of a weird color, not gonna lie. There's Hyde in his own F40. Seeing as the F40 is this car of choice, he definitely loves the fact that he can now drive an F40 2 tiers in a row. Hanson's using the gutter technique to stay ahead of Peter there, and then also overtake Sham going down towards the hairpin. Eric is certainly keeping pace with McIntosh. He's about the only one at the moment. Yoshiro is beginning to lose the plot. Yeah, so as I kind of said during the 5 lights, Kagasa is a known thing in the challenge series, but she hasn't appeared in a set of horses before. Rather, she's more renowned for her skills in the Twisted Invitationals. She's a well-rounded driver in there, and she already has a Derby championship driving her Jaguar XKSE. But in this instance, she decided she's going to try actually racing normally, but since there's no Jaguar, she has to resort to a Lotus to race. I'm doing great back here. in case you were wondering. Eric is on Tyler's heels. The power difference is not very much, but this thing seems to handle considerably better. Oh. Some Lotus on Lotus violence. This fellow just about wrecked Kogasa into one just there. The three rookies that have been super active this tier, or this year, are still as such. Kanashimi is here in an Aventador, same with Deprisco, and then we also have Sham in a GT4 Cayman, fighting me for not last. And I think he's about to win the battle for not— yeah, he is. My throat may sound a little bit weird. That is because I literally woke up like 15 minutes ago before I made this recording. Tyler is actually kind of making a bit of a train here. It's allowed Yoshiro to catch back up to Eric and Tyler, little by little, until Eric finds a way by. But I think the moment that he does, he will probably be on a mission to get out of here. And he'll be doing it pretty fast. Oh, Pansy, you could have definitely got a move there. The Huracan's acceleration is his only saving grace at the moment. Eric will finally make an attempt for the pass. And that's a pretty easy overtake. Better power in, better power out. Ty tried to force a splitter there, but there was no shot. And Kogasa ran the fastest lap, possibly due to the fact that she wasn't affected by what the top three are dealing with. Well, now second and third, because Eric is going to just drive off into the sunrise now. And lock up, apparently. Beyond that battle, it's been kind of single-file into the back, so the next 2.5 laps of this might not be the most entertaining racing. I'm not saying I will be editing anything out, I'm just saying I don't think I won't be. That doesn't make any sense, but just roll with it. Curious to see in just one lap how much of a gap Eric can pull on second place. Linnae is surrounded by Aventadors right now. I'm not exactly sure how the the Huracan and the Aventador compare against each other. I mean, the leaderboard will probably tell you Aventador might be the better option, but that could just be the starting grid. There's not a single driver that tried to move into one. So that's just how, the field's not even spread out. They're just little tiny, like, clusters of drivers. Oh, we got something going on. Hyde trying to make some bizarre overtake patterns on Schwartz here for P11. But Schwartz on the outside with his additional downforce, contributing the GT4 car, defends the spot. Never mind, here comes Hyde again with his actual horsepower. Centered on the inside, but that's now the outside, so I don't think... You know, he'll have to wait for later on that. On my nose, this stuff. What the heck? More GT4 cars are piling into the back of this Macintosh train. Well, kind of. But kind of. Two laps clear of Tyler, and the lead is now already at 10 seconds. And yet Tyler still remains in second place. Nobody else could probably find a way around him because it's a bunch of GT4s behind him. Isabella continues to dent Kogassa's rear bumper. But that's the only thing of interest that's happened in this turn 1. At some point, Hyde got around Schwartz for real. Tried a dummy move on Wayne, but it made him... I guess it put him under pressure, but nothing happened. Schwartz will attempt to recuperate and take that place back, but a half-hearted attempt at an overtake. I think at most tracks, the GT4 cars are definitely going to be on the back foot, just because the power of the new Tier D supercars is so immense. And you're just seeing here, the bottom 4 are all made up of GT4s. And then ironically, 3 of the top 5 are also GT4s, so it's just kind of weird. Smack myself in my nose. As he exits the final turn. Well, driving like this is definitely what makes Eric the most winning driver in the Challenge Series. He's going to win most likely by like 15 seconds. After only leading 3 laps. Oh, 14.7, almost 15. But you're seeing the F40 is not unbalanced because Hyde never made his way into the top 10. He only had to make up 3 places and he just never did that. So now we will head into the second race at the Red Bull Ring. And bearing in mind the drivers that finished in like the top 5, many of them started the front again, will most likely be the points leader going out of Red Bull Ring. You're at the starting grid for Red Bull Ring, and I just mentioned look at the top 5 or 6, and if they start near the front, they'll probably be the points leader. I didn't realize they'd put 3 of them there. Yeah, so it's again between Kogassa, Eric, and Tyler who could be the points leader going out of Red Bull Ring, but my money is on Eric. Starting this close to the front, he could probably just win the race. He's only got to get around 2 Huracans. He's already gotten around 1 in this championship. Yoshiro and, the one that was up there. Yoshiro and Isabella are kinda at the bottom, so I wouldn't expect a lot from them. Man, that wasn't a pretty start. Also fog. Well, Eric just made more work for himself here. He's too wide with Dom to hang on to P5. He will not achieve this. Kugasa and Taylor, 2 Lotuses battling it out towards turn 3. Yes, it is 3. The kink counts for a turn. Man, Kogasa's probably getting real sick of this right about now. She just keeps getting run into by other people driving the same car as her. Hyde attempting to overtake me, and he'll do that pretty easily. That's a lot of horsepower. The battle, in quotes, at the front is between Tyler and Wayne. As things sit right now, Tyler would definitely be the points leader, even if he's just placed twice. What? Even if he's placed second twice. Eric trying to go around Taylor through turns 8 and 9. Those aren't usually passing zone corners. But I don't think that'll stop Eric. He's trying to maintain himself here. And the first step to that is to not get cut off by GT4 cars. Speaking of GT4 cars, Dom is attempting to pass Kogasa, who almost looked like, from far away, it looked like Kogasa just chopped his fender off. Dom is really waiting his turn. Now he pulls out to the right, but it's much too late. Eric will shoot around his outside. Kogasa will completely miss the corner and tag Eric for his troubles. Maybe Dom knew she'd do that somehow. There goes Nitori. So Nitori's into 5th. She's just been kind of here and picking up the pieces of what else has been happening. Eric and Dominic still continue to battle, but Eric has finally come out on top for 3rd position. I don't expect to see a battle between these two since they are, after all, on the same car. They are pretty close together, but I do not think they'll be doing much. And then we got an absolutely gigantic gaggle of cars from, 5th, 6th on back, really. Kanashimi attempts an overtake on Taylor, but the Lotus can brake so much later because of its enhanced cornering that she just kind of denies that altogether. Kanashimi has another run, but she kind of half takes it. But apparently, the Lotuses don't know how to brake here. So Kanashimi will eventually get that position by attrition, more or less. Position by attrition. The commentator's got bars, ladies and gentlemen. Who am I kidding? still 3 and a bit laps to go here. Eric can definitely catch up to those 2 leaders. If the Nürburgring was any indication, the F40 might be a bit powerful for this tier. Again, I keep saying that because I keep seeing what Eric is doing with it, but in all reality, Hyde's not really doing all that much with it. So I don't really know, like, is the F40 that good, or is Eric just that good? He's chopped the difference between him and Tyler by 2 seconds in 1 lap. Fastest lap for his troubles. There goes Fukai claiming another Lotus. And Kugasa has learned how to brake, crucially. They will simply out-drag Taylor for 9th place. Very evenly spread out field beyond that, as once again the bottom 5 cars are now all GT4s. And Kugasa and Taylor are holding their own in the top 10. For now. Hyde just mixing himself up, trying to find a space to get around Kugasa. That's not really how you do that. We've reached 2 laps remaining, and Eric is within visual range of his targets. And within a second, no less. I just saw on the leaderboard, Hyde went around Kogasa on the main straightaway. Eric is somewhat biding his time. I don't really know if he has the allowance to do that, though. He's only got a lap and a half to go. Excuse me. I'm interested to see where Eric chooses to pass or try. Or where he even can pass. Because I don't think he'd really theoretically be close enough before the final, like, before the last turn or anything else, so... Dream circumstance, he'd have to probably get McIntosh through 1, out-drag him up to 3, and then maybe, get ahead of Hansen through 4? But that seems unlikely as it stands. Well, Eric was very passive into 1. I think he's just gonna sit in 3rd. I don't think he feels like passing. I don't know why, but he just doesn't. And the acceleration of the Lamborghinis keeps them away up towards 3. I think part of him wanted to make a desperate braking maneuver there, but the other part of him also knew that that's just kind of not how this should work. So with that last braking zone in the books, I think that was Eric's last chance to make any more places up. I thought he'd be able to get around 2 more Huracans since he did pass Tyler at the Nürburgring, but I guess he just doesn't feel like it today, unless he really gets a big run into 8 and decides to try his luck there. If he even gets that chance, which It doesn't really seem like it. Nope. So Wayne Hansen in his kind of off-gold, off-bronze looking Lamborghini. He will take the victory at the Red Bull Ring. Eric with third place means that he'll have the points lead over Tyler by exactly 1. Eric surrounded by Lamborghinis in the top 6. Hyde places 7th. Looks like, yeah, Kogasa and Taylor, the 2 Lotuses, or 2 of the Lotuses, will be the only ones to score for the GT4 category. Yeah, the race is over. I couldn't remember if it popped up or not. Yeah, 1 singular point. And Hansen is the only other one that's close by. At the moment, that is, obviously. A win for, you know, any of the 5 drivers tied at 10 points. Or a win for Hansen could, really add to the title contenders at the moment. Otherwise, if Eric or Tyler wins, it'll blow the lead wide open. And we go into the Highlands Circuit, another top speed-oriented track. Most of them are. Brands Hatch and Laguna Seca, I think, are like the main ones you could make a case for it not being speed-oriented. Well, I accidentally started the race before making the recording start up. Luckily, the starting grid's not really that remarkable. Eric and Tyler are down in the bottom half. I don't remember exactly who all had 10 points to speak of, though, so... I know Ditoria and Kugasa did, but I don't know if any of these top 4 do. Yeah, the Porsche's so jittery, what the heck? They must be really tightly sprung in the suspension or something. I think we had Wayne, we also had myself in the wall. And I have a bunch of suspension damage from that. What about Hansen? The game refuses to tell me. Alright, so I've effectively taken myself out of the running here. That's fun to see. Either he didn't take damage from hitting that wall, or the game was just being dumb and not telling me. Okay, I guess he just does not have damage. Down the super long downhill straightaway. That overtake will be very little issue for Kanashimi to do. A lot of top speed in that Aventador. Hyde will attempt to follow suit. He about smacked the wall. Should have just been depressing. Okay, so Wayne has damage, but somehow it's on the opposite side of the car that he actually made contact with the wall with, so I'm just puzzled. He's been boxed in by Eric and Isabella, fighting for what appears to be 7th. This results in him possibly being overtaken by the other Huracan near him, Tyler. A walk up ahead from Eric. Lene out dragging Taylor with ease. The Lotus of the GT4s, this is probably the worst track for them. This is pretty much a drag strip with occasional sweeping turns. Uh-oh. That's a wall. No real harm done yet, but he cannot keep doing that. Because you don't know which one will eventually be the straw that breaks the camel's back, and suddenly your car's engine blows up. As Dom and Nutari, our two Aventadors, are fighting out over third place. Hyde struggles to take the lead away from Kaneshimi up ahead of them. And I think... Eric and Lene are also in their little 1v1. Eric continues to hit balls. He is really pushing his luck here. I get you trying to be aggressive to establish the points lead, but this is only going to establish you in the pit lane if you keep this. What are you doing? I thought you were better than this, Eric. You managed to hit just about every wall on the track. And yet somehow you still didn't have suspension damage. Meanwhile, I'm just back here doing the speed limit, pretty much. As we have the leaderboard absolutely spaz the heck out. It is still a very close battle between the first and second place car. This 1v1 has just about become a 4-car train, courtesy of Nutari, and Dominic constantly hashing it out for third. Lene and Eric have caught up to it now, so they need to lay off that for a moment. Tyler has huge front bumper damage, but that's just about it, really. I've seen a league owner get online. I'm trying to remind myself of when the races are today. I have league races and such. Lots of bumper damage, but nothing suspension for Sebastian. I don't even think the bumper, I think I've said this plenty of times already. Bumper damage I don't think affects street cars. Lene seems to have hit a wall somewhere along the way. She's lost pace with the 3 ahead of her. Thus begins the ultimate straightaway battle between Fukai and Hyde. The Aventador seems like it is winning, however. Just about. They're both hitting 200 here. Oh my god! 214. Hyde is absolutely out of control, but he's managed to turn that into an overtake. Man, that's gonna raise your blood pressure just a bit. Eric is gonna get it around Duprisco into the end of that gigantic public road straightaway. Have a big, like, off-road machine moment. Nutari out of control. Eric does not care. Walking up. Hyde is now escaping with the lead. There's not much refuting that. Eric is attempting to work on third on the Aventador. Also bearing in mind that if he makes too many errors, Duprisco will be right there on him. That's a weird shift noise. Dom just about runs Eric over. But 3 Huracans are in a row, albeit a bit spread apart. Pain. Why I don't just pit to fix it, I'm not exactly sure. I like how Schwartz is actually catching these back 2 Huracans right now. Like, you're in a GT4, my guy. Eric going wide again. Back to his ways on the beginning of the second lap. Oh yeah, back to his original ways. And now we're back onto the public road drag strip, pretty much. There's a little island over there. Both these 2 cars reached 210 down the straightaway. That is just unbelievable to me. Bounce. Wayne got ahead of Tyler, which I'm not exactly sure how that took place. They're in the same car. It's only fathoming what a time that the Lotus 211s lose on a straightaway compared to everything else. They've got a tidbit of acceleration. And they've also got a lot of cornering, but their top speed probably isn't that much. So here I questioned if the F40 was really good and I wasn't using it right, or if the F40 wasn't that good and Eric was using it well. But Hyde's going to be the winner in the Highlands Circuit, the Highlands, if you will. So something tells me the F40 is just that good. It's just based on where it starts. And, convincingly as well, Eric never found a way ahead of Nitori and instead actually gave himself suspension damage near the very end of the race. Cedric and Taylor will be the 2 GT4s that score. Because there's not 10 supercars, there will always be 2 GT4s that finish the points. We've had longer waits on this track, for those stubborn AI like me who don't want to pit even when their suspension is basically upside down. Yay! So then we go into the other public road circuit, Black Cat County's long circuit, for just 2 laps this time, since Highlands was a 12-minute race. Well, maybe closer to 11, but 12 with the actual speaking and whatnot going on with it. Eric still the points leader, second Tyler, third Fukai. It's Eric, Tyler, and then Aventadors. Well, no, because Wayne's in a Huracan. Basically, it's just a battle between Lamborghini and Ferrari. Everything else is just kind of here. Yoshiro is the leading car of, you know, neither of those 2 categories, and it's still Italian. It's a Maserati, so... yeah, that's what you get when you have a game made by an Italian company. You have, like, half the set of cars is Italian. We're at the starting grid for Black Cat County. Tyler will have a slight chance to catch back up to Eric in points. However, Kadachimi is not getting that opportunity. Briscoe is on pole, which means he may be able to drag himself into the points battle, but that's assuming that Tyler and Eric aren't the ones finishing behind him. The Huracan normally is very good off the line, however, if it's stuck behind 2 cars that aren't, like me and Taylor, it doesn't matter. And Dom basically gets the lead for free going into the first braking zone because all of the cars that start behind him are GT4s. They don't really have the power to keep up with them as we head towards it. We have a battle between Eric and Tyler are the ones too wide at the moment. Tyler, I think, kind of went wide a bit. Nope, he was just getting a better exit. They're still too wide. They're going to go off this weird jump thing. Head towards the next sweeper. I will cover Eric off, allowing Tyler to get a little further ahead of him as we head towards the corner. However, it is the inside lane for Eric. I cannot pick a lane to save my life. And to slide up the track, even Eric after needed to pass 2 cars in 1. Oh, she was commentating. I'm just being a dope. Well, okay, that doesn't. I don't even know why I looked. What did I think would be happening at the lead? Oh, Lane just spanked himself on the guardrail. That's a bit of suspension damage. That may be a problem for him. see how quickly Eric can dispatch of Wayne with that damage, probably slowing him down little by little. Yeah, not too hard. We'll do the same for Taylor, and he'll make a very, I wouldn't say desperate attempt, but it's certainly a stretch to say that he can catch up to DePrisco by the end of this race. And you can see him way off in the distance, but like, he's only got one lap to get there. And it took him this long to clear all the traffic that he had to get around to get to this point. Meanwhile, behind this, we have Linné getting into Kogas's rear tire and almost spinning out. I struggle to find Nitori on the starting grid. She's up 4 places from where she started, which kind of threw me off. Can Eric gain 3 seconds in 1 lap? Well, and then also pass Dominic. A very crucial element of winning the race. You have to pass the leader. And Tyler also is struggling with damage. He might have given himself this damage in the exact same place that Wayne got it. However, it doesn't seem to be slowing Wayne down very much as he's moved himself into 3rd place. Tyler instead gets overtaken by Hyde, so she's now deposited to 6th. Taylor about flies off the track trying to keep Hyde at bay, but there is no doing that when you're in a GT4. If we're being honest with ourselves, and by ourselves I mean myself, the GT4s, they don't really have a realistic chance of winning the race. They're there to fight for 9th place, and pick up any scraps they can obtain from other drivers making mistakes in the top cars. It feels like class racing at this point. We have like the supercars leading the race, and we have the GT4s picking up the pieces. You'd almost make your own point system out of it, as Hyde just sends it in on Hansen. Eric has caught DePrisco. It might be a minute before he gets a chance to overtake him, though. I think he'll have to wait until he reaches the hairpins at the very end of the track. Track. Why did I say that like that? What the heck? Tyler finally goes ahead of Taylor. And Taylor fights back. Hugely aggressive braking from the Lotus means that this battle continues for a couple more turns. Taylor might have pulled the lead, or might have pulled she pulled that position back from Tyler. That was impressive, especially considering the difference in pace. Like, the GT4 cars have their moments. They have their times where they're better off, but like, with the schedule the way it is, they don't really have many places where they can feasibly win the race. As I mentioned before, there's like 2 of them. Laguna Seca is one of them, and Brands Hatch is maybe the other one. Vallelunga, Zandvoort, Magione, those aren't on the schedule. So Eric is now too wide with DePrisco. He's going to try and steal this at the last possible minute. And he's gotten ahead. He has to keep the lead into this last passing zone. DePrisco doesn't challenge. So, one man's trash, one man's funds, and others hell, as Eric will steal the lead, and by extension, steal the win here in Black Cat County, and he will really extend that points lead now. DePrisco still gets 2nd place. He still closes in on everyone that isn't Eric. And then Hyde, from 10th on the grid, will come home for 3rd place. Taylor could never take 5th back from Taylor. She just, like, styled on him so much that he did not know what to do. There's signs there that say point of brake. They tell you where to brake. That's kind of funny. And so that's the first episode of Tier D. My nose is incredibly itchy. Yeah, so Brands Hatch, a GT4 car, can maybe win. Depends on what's behind them. Because we have that back straightaway and the front straightaway where the power cars can make advantage, but those are only 2 places. Silverstone, I don't think so. The Wellington Straight and the Hangar Straight are way too long for an F40 here, say, or an Aventador to not make its way around like a Cayman GT4 or anything else. Laguna Seca is the GT4's best chance to take a win, assuming that they start on the front row. If it's a GT4 front row and they remain 1-2 throughout the first set of corners, I think they'll be fine to have a GT4 winner. Barcelona, if not for the main straightaway being like half a mile long, I would say that's a possibility. If we had it to where it was like a GT4 car in first and second, that second GT4 car could inconvenience the supercar long enough to allow the leader to stay in the lead. But that requires them to work together, and I doubt that'll happen. Spa, that's probably not going to happen. The GT4s can definitely lead through the middle segment of the track, but once we get back around to the start-finish line and head up through Eau Rouge and into that braking zone, I don't think that any lead the GT4 car could have would crumble. Imola's another maybe. Imola's a weird one. The main straightaway, some cars don't ever feel like passing despite them having a big run. Mugello, same as Imola but to a lesser extent. And there's also that weird passing zone they like to take out of that long right-hander. And then Monza, which is an obvious no.